selling real one Chevy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to IJustWatched. It's your boy Joseph. We're about to check out a requested video. It's Elvis Presley, the King of Kindness. I know nothing of this other than it was requested, so I'm gonna check it out and see where it goes. Before we do that, gotta hit you with the usual, which is hopefully you like this enough to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified. Skibidi boo boo bop, you know what I'm saying? Alright.
I've always treated people just like I would like to be treated. I try to remember that. That's all. It's simple. It's no problem. There's no big effort that I put forth.
Elvis Presley was not only one of America's most iconic entertainers, he was also one of the most charitable celebrities to ever live. Having been raised poor and by God-fearing parents, Elvis gave from the purity of his heart. Although he fell into a high tax bracket, he never took a tax write-off, nor did he ask for any publicity for his charitable deeds. He gave just for the love of giving. While his many good works would be impossible to list, we'll highlight as many as possible, starting with his $1,050 donation to his old high school, which made it possible for all of the students to attend the annual E.H. Crump Memorial Football Game for the Blind in Memphis, Tennessee. Between 1956 and 1957, Elvis performed a number of live concerts to raise money for charities such as his own youth foundation, the Cynthia Milk Fund, and the Variety Club's Home for Convalescent Children. How many stars aside from Elvis can claim they helped end polio? On October 28, 1956, before an appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, Elvis was inoculated with Jonas Salk's anti-polio vaccine, which caused the immunization level of all Americans to skyrocket from 0.6% to 80% in a 6-month period.
Hey kids, could I talk to you for about 30 seconds? This is Elvis Presley. Remember polio victims. Join the 1957 March of Dimes today.
By April of 1957, the Salk Institute declared polio all but eradicated on U.S. soil. On January 6, 1957, during his third appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, Elvis requested Mr. Sullivan ask those watching to send urgent financial contributions to help relieve the plight of some 250,000 Hungarians affected by the Soviet invasion of their country.
Because he feels so keenly, this young man feels so keenly about Hungarian relief, he urges all of us through the country to remember that immediate aid is needed, so long before his benefit show's put on, he wants to remind you to send in your checks to your various churches, Red Cross, etc.
On June 28, 1957, Elvis appeared as a special guest on Danny Thomas's annual Shower of the Stars charity event, which aimed to raise funds to build what is today the most important medical and research center for children with cancer, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Oh, hey.
Without singing a single song, the King's presence drew over 14,000 donors, and work on construction of the hospital's first building commenced later that year.
I went to St. Jude's when I was younger.
Presley's work with sick children did not begin or end with St. Jude's. Before being drafted by the U.S. Army, he often visited hospitals to comfort children faced with life-threatening illnesses, and donated the hundreds of stuffed animals that he had received from fans worldwide to them. One of Elvis's most memorable moments was recorded in the early 70s when he fulfilled the dreams of 8-year-old Denise Sanchez, who passed away soon after a visit from Elvis and her attendance at his concert.
Could you sing me a special song, please?
I sure will. Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you so much.
Elvis would often visit with Graceland's secretary, who, among other tasks, sorted his mail. If a photograph, or a request, or a story touched Elvis, he would immediately take steps to help the sender. Whether it was paying off people's debts or their mortgages, helping a family whose father had died in the line of duty, buying someone a home or a car, or giving a disabled person a new wheelchair. If Elvis knew about it, he helped. One such request came from young Wardee Anderson, who asked Presley to sponsor her bike ride for children with diabetes. The King responded by pledging $5 per mile, which was much higher than the going rate of 5 cents per mile. During his lifetime, Elvis donated a number of vehicles for his good causes, including a red Ford Thunderbird to the March of Dimes and one of his own Rolls Royces to a charity for mentally retarded children. In 1964, Elvis bought the Potomac, FDR's presidential yacht, and donated it to St. Jude's, who sold it to raise about $55,000. On March 25, 1961, Elvis performed a benefit concert in Hawaii to raise money for the USS Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor. The concert raised over $65,000, and a plaque was prominently placed at the memorial site, acknowledging Elvis's efforts in raising the funds. Sadly, the plaque was removed due to unknown, possibly political reasons. Hawaii was also the location of Elvis's most famous concert for charity, Aloha from Hawaii. The 1973 concert was the first to be broadcast live by satellite. It was viewed by a record audience of over 1 billion people worldwide. The performance raised over $75,000 for the Kui Lee Cancer Fund, which had been set up following the death of the I'll Remember You songwriter in 1966. In 1975, Elvis raised in excess of $100,000 at a concert in Jackson, Mississippi for victims of a tornado. This concert was deeply personal to Elvis, who was a child when a deadly tornado tore through his hometown of Tupelo. Elvis annually presented checks to as many as 50 charities and organizations in Memphis. Each check was for a minimum of $1,000, and some were much greater, such as his $10,000 donation to the Memphis Jewish Community Center Building Fund. In recognition of Elvis's charitable contributions throughout his life, Memphis Mayor William Ingram, along with the Governor of Tennessee, Beaufort Ellington, officially declared October 29, 1967, Elvis Presley Day in the city of Memphis and in the state of Tennessee. Elvis learned early on what it meant to receive food, clothes, and kindness from strangers, and did the same for others in need, both publicly and privately. While he may not have been a perfect role model, the world today needs more examples of this type of generosity and kindness.
That's the way I was brought up. My surroundings, my mother and my father and the whole family were always considerate of other people's feelings. I'm proud of the way that I was brought up to believe and to treat people, and so I try to remember that. That's all. It's simple. It's no problem.
I didn't know that he donated, had his own a few of his own charities and all that good stuff. Not a clue. I feel like I'm always learning a little something extra. That's actually pretty cool. I'm curious because, with inflation and stuff, it says $50,000, which now doesn't sound like a lot, but back then was probably a, fat stack. That was life-changing. Yeah. Shit, $1,000 to me would be life-changing, but that's besides the point. But with, with the value now, I wonder how much it really turned out to be, that he was able to raise or donate and stuff like that. That's wild. I didn't know that. I didn't know that this was going to be like that. I honestly kind of thought it was going to be a song. I was like, oh, okay, King of Kindness, all right, let's hear it. I was expecting an Elvis song, and I was like, all right, I'm ready. And then that's not what I got. No, that was pretty good information. Again, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was that charitable. I would assume he was charitable, but not on that level. And really, I'm just like, damn. Someone do the math. How much, what is the equivalent, today? But let me know down below, comments, questions, concerns, more requests. I always love hearing from you. But until next time, stay safe, be well. Adios.